Welcome back to the next round of Are You Smarter Than an LCS Analyst with 100 Thieves? We're gonna move into the last category, which is LCS history facts.
Emily!
I'm not gonna get this.
We're sending up the big guns.
Alrighty.
See, Peter lived it, but she watched it.
Which team won the most regular season games in a single split? Best of ones, which team won the most regular season games in a single split?
Cloud9.
Cloud9, what year?
The first year.
2013. Yeah.
2013.
Yeah.
He told them
No, he said the first year. I'm just
counts.
saying it for the
was
audience.
supposed to get it
Yeah, he got it right. These are worth one again.
Let's go!
Next two up.
Oh!
My preferred matchup.
Oh, wait a minute. What does that mean? Oh, now I gotta destroy it.
All right, dude, you better back this one up.
Take him out, Raz!
I got him.
This one is about actually the person that you support. How many splits did it take for double-elimination to win his first LCS title? You said it was an easy matchup. This is an easy question. All right, what is it?
7.
Wrong.
So now I can go discuss my team?
Wait, Mark, does it count the split he won?
It's not, because he won that split. So how many
it's
splits did
not
it take
counting
to
the
win?
split he won?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they asked the question. I'll tell you guys what I said to them.
Is the one that I won?
It doesn't count. How many did you lose before you won,
Oh,
basically?
then I know the answer, obviously, because it's my life. 5.
5 is correct.
What's the score now?
I shouldn't have answered. I should have let you answer this.
Easy, easy.
Closer for the lead. I got you, boys.
All right.
For 15 points, what did Closer have for breakfast this morning?
Hey, man, this is a fair game show. I don't know why you have a problem with this. Who are the 3 leaders all time for LCS assists? The top 3. 1, 2, 3.
Who cares about this?
Do I get points if I get some?
No.
Give me one, and we'll go back and forth a couple times. If you get one.
Aphelios.
is on there. All-time assists. You can confer with your team. Here's a hint. They've all played with double-lift at some point.
Xfinity.
No.
Oh!
Bjergsen's on there.
Impact.
Impact is on there.
Good stuff.
Afro has 4,519. Impact has 3,542. Bjerg has 3,514.
What's the score looking like?
Okay, we tied.
What?
No,
we
but
were
they
already
got-
ahead, and then I just got 2. How are you tied?
They're down 1. It's
Beatable.
I don't trust the numbers out here.
For this last one, there's gonna be 3 questions. On each question, after I say it, you can bet how many points with like
As a
how
team?
certain you are. Yeah, as a team. So I'm gonna say a common build path of 3 items for a champion, and you have to tell me how much you think that costs.
Current.
Current. This is current live.
so easy.
Yeah, we got it.
Whoever's closest wins. If you both get it right, you both get your.
And like, are we pushing the button or like what's going on?
No, you'll have a. Actually, let's give them a minute. There's 3 of them.
is
You'll have
so
a minute to
easy,
add
man.
their
Do we
prices
have to
together.
bet our point before we hear the question or not?
After, so it's how confident you are that you got it right.
Okay.
Dude, I will
okay.
bet. Dude, I will not this up.
All right, so for example, Jace would build Eclipse
Is this the
CDR
actual
boots.
question?
Yeah, this is it. Eclipse CDR boots Manamune.
Can we use a calculator?
No,
Or
you have to do math.
Okay.
This is not open book, no assistance.
They removed the lifesteal.
they
It's
changed
not
that.
Vamp Scepter anymore.
Okay, then it's the...
Or is it Caulfields? It might be Caulfields.
Is it
It's
Caulfields?
I think it's
and,
Caulfields.
15 seconds left to get a final number.
It'd be that, right?
I'm confident about
Okay.
How much does Manamune cost, guys? I don't know. I don't build that item.
3, 2,
Yes, yes,
have a
it has
number
the 50.
for the price and have a number ready to bet. Tell me how much you're betting first.
all the points.
So you're betting it all.
Everything!
Wow, they're betting 10. What do you
Okay, we'll bet everything.
No, we are
They bet everything. We bet everything too. F it.
Okay, say the price.
68.50.
What do you think it is?
68.50.
You guys said the same thing. You're both wrong. It's 69.50.
Okay, then we don't lose anything.
But no one loses anything. We'll call it a draw. Yeah, everyone keeps their points. It's 10 to 9. I will recommend against betting all in the future.
We're betting it all.
Let's go!
No worries.
Here's a champion, Zeri. She loves to build Triforce, Berserker Greaves, and Runans. 1 minute on the clock.
Oh, dude, I would never mess this up. I promise you guys, on my life, I will not get this wrong.
3, 2. How much you're willing
We
to bet?
bet the house.
You bet the house again. They bet all 9 points.
Yeah.
Okay. How much do you guys bet?
Can we bet 0?
You have to bet at least 1.
Who cares? Let's just lose all our points.
Yeah, I'll send
Let's just lose all our points.
Okay.
10.
The odds are stacked against us anyway.
And, all right. What's the answer for you guys?
7233.
We said 7333 here.
Nope.
I couldn't remember.
7233 is correct.
Let's go!
Let's go!
Wait, I to say, my producer made a good point. You could technically bet all your points and lose the next one, and then you guys are tied 0-0.
We are not doing that. We are not doing
Don't
that.
get Peter the buttons and we're fine.
Yeah,
We bet all. What's the question?
no.
We're betting all.
Echoes, Mikhail's, Ardent.
Dude, you fucking better know this. I don't know any of it.
And
Bro, I don't even
others?
play that champ.
Dude, this
What are we
is
doing here?
impossible, man.
All right, give me your answer for all the marbles.
6,500. 65.
It was 6,700. Welcome to the first time that we ended with 0 points for both teams. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and check out the LCS Summer Split.
We talked about EG before the split, but I think it's become time to talk about FlyQuest Summer 2023.
This again?
Fun-loving guys. However, they are statistically the worst team in the league.
This is not
What
positive,
is the
huh?
asterisk?
But not actually the worst team in the league. Like, who thinks they're the worst team in the
Wait.
league?
Are they actually statistically the worst team in the league? So you have a little asterisk.
They are
there.
0-5.
Based on
The
9
asterisk means they're not
whole
actually
days of data.
the worst team in the league. Yeah, it's based on 9 whole games data. No team has ever started spring 5-0 and then started summer 0-5 until FlyQuest. Anyway, this is why they're statistically the worst, but not actually the worst. Impact is tied for 8th in deaths among tops.
Skull emoji.
13 deaths. But you have to remember, in spring, he was all LCS second team. He is a 5-time LCS champion. He's even won a world championship, and the spring split started June 14th. I hear no disagreements so far. I mean, you could say that they're bad, but I'm just too convincing. Listen, Spica, normally great early game jungle. So far in spring, 6th in kill plus assists at 14 minutes. It's not good. However, he was all LCS second team in spring. He's a 2020 LCS champion. Hell, he's even a 2021 LCS Summer MVP. And also, the split started 9 days ago. Do you know how long 9 days is?
9 days. You mean hours?
It's 9 exact days.
You got COVID at MSI. How long were you sick?
Oh, for like a solid 11 days.
Okay, yeah, and you got better?
Yes.
Okay, you're not just sick forever. All right, that's interesting.
That's a good
Wow.
fact.
Yeah. VicLa. Most ISO deaths among mids. It's tough out there. 6. Third team, honestly, probably the worst performer, but still not that bad. And remember, the LCS Summer Split began 9/13 of a baker's dozen games ago. Very recent.
Is he a baker? Is it factor in?
I don't know, Mark.
Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Aggressive.
I saw the wheels just.
Listen, Prince is last in gold at 14 among bot laners with -602 per game. He was all LCS second team in spring. Actually, he was second place in MVP voting. And don't forget, the split only started roughly 219 hours ago. Mark, think back to the first time you're on our talent. We all remember. You wouldn't want to be judged on the first 219 hours from start to 219 hours later, would you?
I would.
It's not fair. You're wrong.
First
Also,
impressions matter.
You were...
I improved over time. I scaled.
There we go. That's the point. Vulcan, 9th in KDA among supports at 1.7, but he was all LCS first team in spring 2023 on a different team. He's a 3 times LCS champion, and it was 0.642857 fortnights ago. So listen, FlyQuest, even though they're 0-5, they've got this. And just to give you another example of how short 9 days is, 9 days ago, this banana would have been disgusting. But today, it's delicious.
Don't walk back over here.
Wait, oh God, you actually bit the skin.
You stay away.
Are you swallowing?
Don't walk behind me, dude.
Oh,
I don't want
God.
the unhinged banana eater like that.
The sad thing too is that we
Did you
actually
swallow
have
the
a champ
peel?
select.
Yeah, did you actually eat the peel?
He's spitting it.
Don't
out.
Yeah.
spit.
Yeah.
You know the shit out spitters,
Of
Jad.
course
Don't
I
do
did.
that.
You could literally hear the garbage bag.
You're not here chewing it?
No, I couldn't hear you chewing. You could have finished.
I heard you spit it out.
I heard, yeah.
The sad thing too is you have to explain yourself because we're covering this champion selection.
Yeah.
Explain what? I just did a whole presentation.
All
You
right.
explain your
Did-
points.
did-
All right, I'll give you my point. All right,
Okay,
great
go for
case for FlyQuest, but you're forgetting who they're playing against. They're playing against HOTS faker, Rich.
True.
He was the
True.
best HOTS player, Heroes of the Storm player of all time. Everyone agrees, just like we agree that Faker is the best slow player.
What game is he playing right now?
He's playing League, but
You have to actually farm in this game.
that's fine. He's great at it. He's the reason that Dig has won their games. But the other thing is Faker actually this, or is he just low Rich? If you think about it, if Hot's Faker is rich, then Lol Rich is Faker.
Yeah, the viewers are a little late to this party, but Mark and I have been on this train. It's unbelievable how good Rich has been, Raz, don't you think?
On Cassante.
And?
Evie was great on Cassante, too.
Okay.
Raz's opinion is that Hot's Faker is
You can't even get
it's
your
so hard to get it right.
straight.
He thinks that
Because you don't believe it.
No, I do. You think he's a one-trick Cassante. I pray FlyQuest ban it so he can continue to show that he's the best. But if they're just going to leave up a champion that he can 1v9 on.
Yeah, listen, Raz. Do you remember the World Championship when Faker played Galio 5 games in a row against RNG?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you say, like, actually, Faker's not that good. He's just as good at Galio?
Because he had maybe a few years on other champions and being extremely flexible on that one. Just putting that out there.
And this guy was Faker in another game. So that's
How
also
flexible
years
do
of...
you have to be the best player of all time in another game and then go pro in this one?
That's the reason why I left that game.
Yeah, they couldn't handle
The game
it.
itself is...
Blizzard was like, shut it down. Rich is too good.
Oh my god.
No, I just think he's an incredible player, and Raz has refused to admit it. We wanted to gas up Rich for a while now.
What?
And Raz kept being like, no, not yet. He needs to prove it more.
Raz,
You're putting this on
Raz
me?
is the #1 Rich hater
No, that's crazy.
on this Analyst Lounge.
Look, I am a supportive human being.
Fair
Did
enough.
you see his pop-off after he led that backdoor charge
That
to
was
win
actually
the game?
insane.
He's also emotive.
That was
So
great.
that's just another part of greatness. I also hear we do have a slight delay on stage, so while we wait, there is an item that has popped up recently. Check it out.
Are you sad about the state of your lane? The League of Legends got you feeling more like League of Losers? Well, do I have the solution for you? Hi, Clayton Rains here with the latest and greatest in Riot Games technology, the Static Shiv. Redesigned and reloaded for summer 2023, this classic item is back and better than ever. Need to clear the wave? No problem. Static Shiv bounces from minion to minion, making wave management a breeze. What about lane trading? Say goodbye to minions blocking your poke. When you've got the Static Shiv, just attack anything nearby and watch your helpless lane opponent ride the lightning. Team fighting? Once you've got your Static Shiv online, you'll be bursting down opponents and enjoying the complimentary question mark pings from your team in no time flat. Static Shiv does it all! And don't think we forgot about you, ARAM. Static Shiv makes the Howling Abyss into Howling Bliss. One game with this bad boy and you'll be saying, holy Shiv! League of Legends has never seen an item like this before. But don't take my word for it. Let's hear from some real-life Static Shiv customers.
Wow, I built Static Shiv and I've never gotten easier LP. Thanks, Static Shiv.
My wife wouldn't talk to me before I bought Static Shiv. But now we duo every night. Thanks, Static Shiv.
The Shiv is truly changing the game, but to make this deal even sweeter, we're offering a special bonus gift exclusive to LCS viewers that you can't find anywhere else. Call in the next 20 minutes to receive Night Harvester, a 3,200 gold value, absolutely free. Night Harvester pairs beautifully with the Shiv, activating its unique effect on every champion Shiv bounces to. Now that's value. So what are you waiting for? Pick up your phone and order your Static Shiv today. Call 555-RITO-PLIZ to order your Static Shiv from Riot Games. That's 555-RITO-PLS. Or send payment by check or money order for 3,000 gold to 420 Doran Way, Summoners Rift, Ohio, 42069. For fastest delivery, use your MasterCard and call 555-RITO-PLIZ. That's 555-RITO-PLIZ. Call now.
That's actually Captainflowers' phone number if any of the
Wants to
50,000
actually
people
call it.
watching that want to watch this right now.
Give him a text.
All right, we're in the game though, at least. Here we go. Cassante banned. We're gonna have to see what Rich has in the tank.
All right, here's the real test.
Go.
Like, once again, wanted to make it very clear. Not a hater. Just wanting to sit on it.
Actions speak louder than words, dude.
Rell first pick again for Dig. This is something that, obviously, talking to Diamond yesterday, they just think is broken, as does Core, who just played it, as does Huhi. I also think Rell is super strong right now, so yeah.
It's really good into a lot of melee champs. It's interesting to see how now it's going to be going up against an Azir, and I'm sure FlyQuest will pivot into like just having range in general,
Oh, baby.
range and disengage. And we got the Ivern boy. All right, we're back at this.
Impact hard walking Renekton is a bit of Rich disrespect, which worries me. But I do actually like the Ivern. I think it's a very strong pick. I think it's actually really good into Vi too, because anytime Vi engages, you can very easily counter engage.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to slam both your solo lanes like this out of FlyQuest, and then you'll be able to pinch one because they can only answer one of the two. So either Rich's pool gets pinched, or I guess both if you just go for your bot lane. All right, so they just lock in the Aphelios. This leads to very mismatched picks in the first phase, which usually you don't see. Usually you kind of would match there with one of your solo lanes and then figure out from there, but looks like it's just the jungles matching.
There is a level of Prince probably being a little tilted, or they're hoping they can tilt Prince, take Aphelios, ban out 280 carries, try and make him behind in games. The stat I poked before the day was the fact that he's actually only bought 4 control wards in 5 games, which is the lowest in the whole league. And I think that's not necessarily because like he doesn't care about vision. I just feel like he's been behind so often in lane that he just feels broke all the time and has a sense of desperation. So if you're actually attacking that in draft, I don't mind it.
Yeah, and there's just a lot right now that Dignitas has that will be a threat to him. The Vi and Aphelios and Rell have a lot of CC and great setup just in general, so I would expect that to be the case here. I think just throughout the 5 games that FlyQuest has had, Prince has been the obvious target. The Malphite Engages has been right on top of his dome in the TSM game. So it's like, now that you're right, they're just picking off the AD carries that would be pretty good in this situation, including a pretty broken Varus, which I'm surprised we're not picking. But it's going to be a good challenge to see what he's going for. When you have this much support, because we haven't seen the support pick from FlyQuest just yet, but we've seen an Ivern, so a lot of the pressure is going to be on him. He can go in a lot of directions. Like Kog'Maw is a good example of like a pick that we've seen in solo queue that's really paired up well with an Ivern. I don't think that's going to be the case here, but just throwing out there that he has now a list of champions. So Jinx, I think, will probably be the pick.
That would be lame.
Ooh, okay,
what
we
can't Rich
saw
do?
this.
Oh, it's Faker.
We saw this. Okay, really quick, we saw this in LCK. It was played. It's a static shiv, probably Quinn top.
Yeah.
And it won.
Yeah, Quinn into
It was
Renekton
great.
is an old school actually counter that people used to do all the time. You can get the pushback on when he tries to dash in, stop him from getting a second dash, you blind him, it becomes very hard to play for the Renekton side. So it is a common counter pick, we just don't usually see it.
Yeah, and I mean, I remember way back, like the Shy would pick it so frequently and a lot of times have cleanse in lane just in case that the Renekton wants to try and just all in, stun, get the burst off. Not possible here. So actually, this is gonna be a really fun game, but man, you are on a timer. If you can't get a lead and can't snowball that early on in this game, it's going to be a challenge. So I really want to see what Dignitas can do alongside that. That's going to be a really good test for Rich in the LCS.
We got really excited about the top lane. We do have to mention Kai'Sa, Nautilus locked in for the bot side, one of the old staple combinations for anyone who plays the marksman position.
I also got to say, 9 days ago,
Oh my God.
you would not think Fly vs Dignitas would have this level of importance. But it absolutely feels like it does here, as FlyQuest is yet to win a game.
How'd you get an odd number when you got to hours? If it was 9 days, you said it was like 219 hours.
Yeah, from the start of LCS to the moment of the presentation.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So you're fudging the
Yeah.
numbers.
I got you.
That's it. Casters, take it away.
Thank you, Analyst Lounge, and welcome back, everybody. I am so happy. It has been years that we have known Quinn absolutely smacks Renekton around. This is not a fair matchup, but in competitive play, people have always been like, I don't know, it's Quinn though. Not Rich, no sir, not this man. He just walked into Champion Select and said, no, that's an iguana on a stick, and I'm gonna put him there.
Because the question after that is always, all right, now we have Quinn, how do we win the game? Well,
holy shit!
Holy shit! We can split push up here. I would also say this matchup is actually decently prevalent in solo queue, and junglers have a huge influence. So you do take the cleanse for the all-in attempts from the Renekton with the stuns. I would say that I even have more faith behind this Rich counter pick, knowing that they already saw the Ivern jungle, and Ivern early on does not have the biggest threat here, because you have to spend your entire time switching back and forth on your bottom side camps to be able to pick up your first clear. My preferred route for Spica this time around would be channel red, channel raptors, go Q smite the blue, channel Gromp, then Wolves, and then you would be able to ping pong, go pick up the camps and get back to the top side of the map and be able to answer that matchup and try and help out Renekton so you don't lose a lot of CS. But it looks like he's going to do the Wolf side blue start instead of the top variation that we're talking about for ending there.
So, okay, Kobe, we haven't seen a lot of Ivern in the LCS just as a whole. I know that you are an Ivern fan, so for anybody that's not aware out there, give me the TLDR of what's changed.
Well, what's changed is they gave steroids to Daisy. That's the TLDR.
Okay, it's not Ivern changes, it's Daisy.
Daisy got turbo juiced, and you can even go a Night Harvester build to give Daisy even more juice because Daisy can just chase people down and pound them into the ground. She got attack speed. She also got move speed, so it's hard to get away from her for the knockups. So really have to be aware and work around the cooldowns of Ivern, especially early on, the ultimate cooldown. They also gave the shield, you know, if it's going to expire and not do damage to people, then it will re-shield the person you put it on. So there's a lot of safety there. And with the start that we're seeing here from Spica, since he did start on the top side, Ivern's just opposite to other junglers, where since you have to channel and then come back to your camps, it means you will ping pong to the other side. And we'll see about him, looking towards the Prince Nautilus side of the map, since if you start on blue side, you channel them, you pick them up later, and you have to go back to red side and end towards mid-bottom to be able to get your Raptors. So Impact will be left in the early stages at the mercy of the Quinn and the pushing power, the range disadvantage. The early parts of it actually are sustainable for Renekton. You know, starting with Doran's shield plus a potion here, you just kind of seed the push. You're like, fine, it's okay if you push in. I will just try and preserve health and preserve CS here. Under tower, it's now up to Rich to try and make Impact miss those CS. You see him harassing, poking, trying to deny as many CS to the tower as he can, and he's done a pretty good job while also getting himself the ward. Nice little E there too. That is the mechanic you're looking for. The E is your trump card over the Renekton to get your little chunk. And Q is so annoying to deal with. Anytime you're able to deny vision like that on the trades, especially to the melee champions. Now with the top side pressure fully seated, Santorin walks on down and we'll be able to secure top side Scuttle Crab for them. Meanwhile, Spica should be able to just end on bottom, no problem for him.
Yeah, the secret sauce of that Quinn versus Renekton interaction is even if Renekton's first dash finds you, nice flash escape from Tomo there, but Vulcan and FlyQuest are still ready to go in. First blood over to Vulcan, and FlyQuest is on the board.
This is something that FlyQuest have desperately needed since they've come back in summer, is success on this bottom lane. They brought in Vulcan, this big powerhouse change in the bottom lane that people were looking towards to have big results, and it simply hasn't been there so far in summer, but he makes it true here. He also got the kill credit, so it's not ideal Princeton get the money to fund the Kai'Sa build, but he did get the flash out of the brush play to surprise Tomo, and it's a good timing here since Rell went for the roam. Goes for it. Even though Tomo was able to get the flash away on the auto, he still hit the hook. So good job here from Vulcan, hitting the hook after the flash, and then he still had his passive auto route for afterwards, since Tomo was able to get away from the first one there, and they find the kill. Nicely done by them. The other thing I was gonna mention is since Spica ended his route, and whenever you're going for Scuttle Crabs as Ivern, sometimes it's really annoying if your opponent's support is roaming, because if you don't have Smite, you have to wait a long time for your channel to complete on Scuttle Crabs.
Right.
It can be annoying to actually secure the early ones, but since his bottom lane got the kill there, doesn't matter, he didn't have Smite. He just channels it, waits for the full channel thing. No problem for them, and he did end up getting the Scuttle as well without even saving Smite. Sometimes with Ivern, you really want to track these Smite timers for your little bits of invading or your Scuttle Crab takes. It's really the only way you get your good counter jungling or instant crab takes with the champ. And honestly, if you can gank the Quinn early, and Spica might be going for it now, even though you've got cleanse for the stun, Ivern's shield applies the slow, and he's got the Q, which will allow Renekton another dash if he can hit the Q.
Well, Rich knows something is up here. Impact cannot close the distance to apply that point-and-click stun with a
He didn't show yet. Now he shows, though.
Nice sidestep from Rich. Letting him know, hey, man, what gives?
And then he pops the W afterwards to make sure he gets vision of Spica, and he knows Spica is, in fact, leaving the area. So Spica did have the route up there, but unable to make it happen. Impact went in for the trade on Rich early and got fully kited out, chunked out pretty low. He still has one health potion, though.
And as I was talking about before we got the first blood in bottom lane, even if the first dash from Renekton gets the second one and puts him right on top of Quinn, the distance she gets from her E is more than enough to escape any further engage and prime her for a winning trade on him. It's such a difficult matchup to play from the Renekton side.
That's why all Rich really has to worry about is tracking Spica, because unless the Ivern gets his Q on you and gives Impact the ability to get the free dash there from the landed Q and then the follow-up slows from the shield, you should be able to keep him at arm's length and doing a very good job increasing that CS lead. He gets a turret plate while Impact is farming, but here's the all-in, gets the cleanse for ultimate.
Impact still having his own flash here, Rich having his as well, but as the Dominus slowly wears away, Impact is going to be right back where he was earlier. Rich, of course, having a nice CS lead here, going to go back and shop and get a little bit of extra power. I would assume, as per most range versus melee matchups in top lane, boots are going to be a priority for both these guys. You can see Impact did get the stun there, finds a little bit more damage onto Rich, but again, the Quinn just wanted to go back anyway, and now that he has level 6, he'll be able to get back to the lane nice and quick. That is one of the concerns early on if you die because you don't have a TP.
Nice hook.
But now another nice hook coming out from Vulcan on the other end of the map means that Diamond loses a chunk of health. Santorin did manage to sneak away the Scuttle Crab here in the bottom side river while that was all going down, but it's VicLa who's got control over mid, so Santorin's got to get away.
We got the Rich cam up on top side. Valor hang gliding in.
Yes, sir.
This is about the slowest that you'll see Quinn. Pretty soon you get the zooms around the map. The ideal way to play this champion is to get such a good lead in your Renekton in the 1v1 on top side that once you get your item completed here, then you can start making your roams to go make plays on other lanes. And that's the reason why you want to take a lot of hard CC elsewhere, similar to what we're talking about with the Kindred jungle. Meanwhile, it is going to be a collapse here.
Ooh, Jensen with the flash away from VicLa, who wanted to go after him there with a Shurima shovel. The Emperor's Divide flash stun from Impact with a Ruthless Predator as Jensen does get away from it yet again. Tibbers putting a lot of damage into VicLa here. He's only 100 HP on the Azir. The Drake win over to Dignitas. Early Ocean for them.
That's actually huge for Dignitas, not only because they got the dragon, but Impact is so screwed now in topside.
Yeah.
Rich gets a double stacked cannon wave in to get another turret plate, and Impact has no flash now. Quinn with flash advantage, you are certainly at the mercy of the Quinn now as a Renekton, and it should be an instant startup here on the Rift Herald after that failed play mid. Impact was kind of frustrated, wanting to get at least the kill on the Annie. If you can't kill the Quinn, try and go for the Annie roam on mid lane. It's unable to get it. Ivern does pop Daisy, but the Herald should be smited already.
Yeah, Rich and Santorin.
Can he get the E angle?
Trying to get away here. Yeah, Rich trying to get over the wall there. Flashes. Diamond's there to protect him. Impact pops the Dominus, but it's a no-flash Renekton. Santorin's the target now. Impact stuns him up, and FlyQuest gonna grab kill number 2.
Nice chase down kill for FlyQuest. What else can they get in the aftermath? There is a smite on Spica, so he has one counter jungle available. He uses it on the Raptors. I don't think they went to check red, so he didn't know he could use his smite counter jungle on the red. Instead, they just take that and they roam on down to the other side. The price you end up paying for that Rift Herald is the 1 kill, and then the map control that ensues after you get that kill does allow FlyQuest to get a little bit of deep vision. You see those 2 wards around mid lane, and they're rotating all the way to bottom lane on the pushing wave. Idea here, try and deny the wave from Tomo.
Yeah.
He can look at it, but
they don't want him touching it.
Can't touch it until the rest of FlyQuest go away, and the rest of them do end up retreating and allowing him right back in, so a small amount denied there.
All right, Rich heading right back up into the top side here, has the completed boots. Again, the importance of boots in range versus melee matchups, pretty paramount. But in mid lane, Jensen going for some burst onto VicLa. Remember, VicLa already got rid of the flash from Jensen last time around, so with Vulcan and Spica rotating up, it's an easy kill for the FlyQuest mid laner. A 3-0 game now for Fly.
Yeah, I'd say thank you, Impact, for your sacrifice when he flashed as Renekton to trade for that flash too. That means 2 kills onto the Azir, so Impact is actually paying a very good weak side sacrifice for Renekton. His flash in the mid lane trading with Jensen did end up giving them over another kill, and VicLa is being fed in this game. Now Impact, though.
Yep, he didn't see Santorin coming up. Vault Breaker getting charged. Rich continuing to position aggressively, though, to make sure that he's not giving away the fact that Santorin is there, but Impact being as respectful as he possibly can. Now tries to dive in. Slice just finds him eating some auto attacks as per usual.
I wonder if they get timings here because it is support recall timers. Both supports spend their recall timers to go mid, though. And it looks like Ivern clearing up towards top side will be the only one.
Yeah, Spica's going to come over the wall. You'd think. Ward placed down. Rich is aware of what's going on. Nope, Spica, as soon as they see the control ward in the brush, he's like, I know I won't be able to kill this guy. So they don't even bother going for it.
Yeah, he still has cleanse.
Yeah.
So frustrating to try and complete that play when he does have cleanse, and you don't have vision of the Vi either. Since that control ward was placed and Santorin was camping topside, it's pretty scary if you get counter ganked in that scenario. If Vi is there and you get the Vault Breaker out of a brush, then you are super screwed in that 2v2.
Santorin taking the chance to walk up into lane brush here as Rich is going to continue pushing this wave in, trying to get FlyQuest to make some kind of an answer.
That tower's dead, Flowers. Activation of the Rift Herald means Rich will indeed.
Oh, wow. Santorin going in from a dive here, but I don't know about this one. He's going to tank a ton of damage. Santorin, what was that? He gets Impact, a ticket right back into the game. Rich is going to be careful now. He might die too. That was terrible.
You can say that again, Flowers, because the tower wasn't quite dead yet. You have to let Shelly charge in there and then slowly finish it off. But he goes in tower range. Impact punishes the weak side king yet again, Flowers. He gets his kill. He even allows the defense of the tower, but bottom side dive as well.
FlyQuest going in from a dive here. Jensen ready to reinforce. Flash, three-man stun coming out with the Tibbers. Jensen gets the kill on Vulcan, and Spica has to flash back over the wall to escape. Diamond's ready for a follow-up, but with VicLa reinforcing FlyQuest lines, Dignitas got to make sure they don't overextend too much. Santorin is back alive. He rejoins the team down here too, but remember, he has no ulti. Santorin, normally a player who makes good calls, who can find opportunities, but just not looking for the right moment there in the top lane, costs Rich and himself quite a lot.
Yeah, I feel for the top laner in that scenario. You're a little bit peeved. You were about to get a Rift Herald crash and then try and just force him out and finish, but on the opposite side, another little bit of a fiasco on the tower dive, and Dignitas in the end got the chase on bottom side, and then we'll still end up getting the tower. So they're at least happy about the bottom side play. Impact, though, he kind of aggroed Santorin. You know, when he placed his control and stopped his recall.
Yeah,
it's actually just godlike top laner play, knowing he can tilt the jungler. Tomo is toast.
Yeah, Tomo's gone. Nice moves from VicLa there. 3 out of the 5 kills for FlyQuest are on that Azir in the mid lane.
VicLa having a big bounce back this game. He's truly been lacking for FlyQuest so far in summer, but this is his game to carry. 3 kills on the Azir, perfectly set up.
Rich has his static shiv now on the Quinn, gonna make it that much easier to hard shove these waves, try to roam around with the behind enemy lines. You can see the experience bar in the bottom left part of your screen, over halfway to level 11, so an even more powerful ulti there, teaming up with Valor as he steals away the Gromp, adds a little bit of extra gold, tries to keep Spica a little bit behind. Santorin does have a nice tempo lead in the jungle. He's up about 20 CS, he's up about a level, so he's got that going for him. But man, we've got to make sure that Dignitas is going in at the right times on these plays. It's the classic Vi bait. You're just like, uh-oh, I hope you don't ult me here. And then you take him back to a spot where you've either got allies or a turret waiting.
Yeah, Impact knew what he was doing. Drops the ward, pokes him, and then runs back under turret.
Yep.
Perfect aggro there. Able to get one. See about the move now, though.
All right, Santorin.
All right.
Can we find an angle here? Impact going to be found out by Rich, who swoops in. Doesn't find a whole lot of damage onto him. Total gold in the game. You can see it's still Rich, about 500 out in front of the next closest person, which is VicLa. And then VicLa's 1,000 ahead of anybody else. So
that top wave.
These are the 2 you got to keep your eyes on. VicLa shoving that wave up into the turret here as Rich tries to speed back to answer. The turret should not drop. Rich will show up here. Static shiv.
Nice.
There we go. Nicely done. Throws out the blinding assault to clean up those backline minions. As Impact and Vulcan want to find themselves an opportunity up here. Rich! Fast enough to get away.
Thank you, Valor. Able to slip out of that one. They actually, okay, Jensen cancels his recall. I was like, you need to keep on pushing down there because FlyQuest just showed 3 top. So he cancels the recall on bottom side. Annie should be able to answer and help out with the trade because FlyQuest do secure their top side tower and allowing Dignitas to push out mid plus bottom. Jensen's gonna have to push through one more cannon wave to be able to finish off the bottom side turret, but Tomo gets a decent little chunk here on mid as well, while Santorin takes away Raptors. So Dignitas faring pretty well in response to the FlyQuest attempted play, 3-person top.
So let me ask you this. We're in a very close game state, but FlyQuest has a nice advantage in terms of kills at least. For this team that has not yet found a win so far here in Summer, what do you want to see them do to find it here?
All you have to do is teamfight around this Azir while marking these flanks for the Quinn. Quinn's teamfight is a bit lacking compared to her side lane and her map roaming. So if FlyQuest can just focus on objective setup 5-on-5, try and draw Dignitas to you, and have a decent amount of warding for your flanks, push out your mid lane first, then rotate into the objective, then they can try and have a stand-up fight. If they can fight front to back, they've got the Ivern Enchanter, and they have a fed Azir for mid lane. So they do have some pretty good options if they're able to get that standard fight. But Rich is not going to let that happen. He's static Shiv Quinn, okay? You're zooming around side lanes, you're deleting minion waves, and then you're roaming in for all these flanks and looking for these picks and harassing FlyQuest as they try and set up.
He also has his second item fully completed, the first player on the map to have 2 full items complete. Kraken Slayer there too means this guy is deadly in those 1v1s, especially with how Kraken Slayer works now with reapplications. But the Herald's summon up in mid. Diamond might just die. He goes in for the Magnet Storm, but he crashes down on nothing with a TP ready to bring in reinforcements. Prince finally gets a kill, and FlyQuest is feeling good.
That's perfect for FlyQuest. They want the straight up fight, and Shelly's gonna lead the charge into turret number 2. They can keep up the pressure here.
They're gonna keep looking for more. Rich, he popped the cleanse, but the dredge line's ready to follow. Rich wants to fire back a little bit further now, and Vulcan's gonna die. So is Impact, so is Prince. Dignitas going in, but Santorin won't be able to get any more. The Sun Disc keeps him protected as Tomo's ready for the chase. He's got red, he's got purple, he's gonna mow him down. Double kill back over to Aphelios, and the completed ace for Dig.
Smooth there for Tomo. He blue guns into purple gun, into swap over, proccing red gun after the last bullets on blue gun, chases them all down, gets the root to boot. Beautiful stuff from Dignitas off of the failed tower dive from FlyQuest. I mean, this is a look at the early pick. Diamond goes down, his crash down only hit Daisy. Then you're like, okay, they've got Daisy out, they've got the Rift Herald coming through, they're gonna keep up the charge. But look at the mini-map. Annie is flanking over through the jungle flowers, and there's no vision on him up until the dive commences. They go for the dive. Jensen's here just in time. Jensen flashes on the back line, kills Prince, while the rest of the dive members are taken out, and Rich was able to kite back easily under the tower. Then Tomo, as we're talking about, able to just kite them down as they're running away.
And on top of the whole fight, here's the detail we didn't even mention yet. They got soul point off of that. Now Impact is having a very interactive gameplay experience against Static Shiv, Kraken Slayer, Quinn in a side lane. He has to flash just to not die for free. Man, this is troubling. You can even see the itemization difference for Impact this game compared to what a Renekton would normally build. He's like, Gore Drinker, I'm not going to have a chance to do anything. Stride Breaker, I have to try to slow this Quinn down or do something. But man, Rich is just so far ahead.
All right, let's see what they can do with it. Hard push on bottom side. Keep on looking for that pressure. A little bit more vision work to do for Dignitas to keep looking for these picks. There's 30 seconds on Baron, so you can move your vision resources up towards the top half of the map now, because you've got a long time before the next dragon. Baron will be up, even though your threat on starting it isn't super big. You do have, especially if Tomo's able to find red-white guns and switch over, then you can have some threat and try and push out side lane there with Rich, roam up on the Quinn, and play the map here against FlyQuest to try and reduce the amount of jungle camps that they can continue farming.
Also easy for Rich to go in and follow. If Santorin does an ult, or even Jensen doing a flash ult engage there, anything, it's easy for the Quinn to follow that one up, zooming in behind them with the amount of speed that he has. and it's even easier for him to push out these side lanes and then just pop the ulti behind enemy lines and end up regrouping with your own lines. Dignitas setting up a potential trap here in the side lane brush. Just going to see if anybody from FlyQuest might be showing up. Tomo's the bait, but nobody's hungry on FlyQuest's side. Spica just going to plant that grove there. Going for the Mikhails here as the second item. Wants to have some sort of a get-out-of-jail-free card for one of his carries. Be able to bail VicLa out if he gets engaged on or something. The Azir still kind of the main character of the FlyQuest team with the Leandries, Shadowflame, Mercury Treads all completed. Dignitas still up about 2,000 gold, 2.5 minutes until what'll be the Mountain Soul for Dig. They don't have anybody that's exceptionally tanky. Vi is a bruiser, Rell obviously on a support budget, but that Mountain Soul shield's still gonna help a lot.
Yeah, Dig's plan, we don't tank any damage. We just kill them in the burst. we've got Annie stun, we have so much CC, we've got Vi ultimate, we have a Rell follow-up. So they have huge amounts of CC, as well as plenty of damage to follow it up. So looking and watching out for those Annie flank plays. That's why they're trying to clear out so much vision here, set themselves up. They've got definitely some very quick possibilities.
You only take damage if somebody's alive to deal damage to you. Tomo's gonna get engaged on here by Vulcan. Ooh. Diamond dives in, but he's all alone. That's the second time this game. These Rell engages have not been coordinated, and Diamond just drops dead.
Yeah, that was for sure some miscommunication too, because the rest of the team was not going in. All right, Flowers, aftermath of that play, no Rell on your squad left. FlyQuest starting up the Baron. What do you do?
Well, Tomo's got Infernum, so we might be able to see some AoE down here in the pit. Santorin blasted back into the pit, but a beautiful ulti to get himself back to safety and kill VicLa off in return. FlyQuest in some trouble now. Vulcan's gonna be picked up next. They already killed Azir, and there's problems for FlyQuest. Rich is gonna 1v1 Impact as Prince comes in to try to help him. Rich in a 1v2. He can't quite find it. Prince and Impact stay alive, but the Baron goes over to Dignitas. I gave Santorin a hard time for the bad ult earlier, but that one was perfect. He's thrown into the pit. He ults right back out. He smacks VicLa in the mouth, and they win the fight.
That was one of the funniest reverse blast cones that we have seen, Flowers. Blast cones into the pit, and then since Impact went over to actually pop him in, and the idea was to kill him there, they then just jump on the carry on the other side. As you say, Santorin ults over, and they already had Jensen flanking, so they actually just turn it around. It's so funny that this is now 2 fights, where the way the fight starts out is they sacrifice Diamond. Yeah. So Diamond down, looks like the fight is gonna go good for Dignitas. You just don't know it yet, okay?
Okay.
So Jensen and Rich are flanking around. So Santorin actually just gets blast coned over to his teammates that are flanking. And since Impact is outside the pit now still, he actually tried to go back in, and the ult from Santorin pushed him over too. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Okay. Well,
coming back to live, Rich is dead.
Maybe this is the same.
I don't know.
As when Diamond gets picked off. Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think instead this was rather just a pretty big error there from Rich getting picked off, and that means that FlyQuest are going to stop what would have otherwise been a 24-minute soul. All right, let's see how this happened.
Okay. So they're looking for Vulcan. They couldn't quite get the range on the stun there on the Q. And then Vulcan just nails him with the hook.
Yeah, that was just disrespectful from Rich. I don't know what that was. All right, everybody gets one. Everybody gets one. That was Rich's one. You're gonna have to be careful. That's the thing on a champion like Quinn. If you start to lose your momentum, you start to fall any bit behind, you're gonna have some troubles. He's still feeling great. His farm is fine. He's nearly got his 3rd item completed, but it's still something you don't want to be giving those away for free, especially not when the team has Baron.
Yeah, and especially not when you are, looking at stacking dragons. So that is the perfect timing for FlyQuest to get that hook out of Vulcan as well. Earns them that objective, just stalls the game so much for them, buys them a lot of time. So very necessary little comeback play there from FlyQuest then.
Especially losing the Baron on a champion that always wants to be alone. Impact went in. Now Diamond's gonna Magnet Storm on a couple of valuable targets. They kill Prince, they kill Impact, and they're going even further. Tier 2 turret's about to die. VicLa popping the stasis, trying to keep himself alive. He'll at least take Diamond with him. But Dignitas have already killed 3. A double kill back over to Rich, redeeming himself for the pick in mid lane, as Dignitas might just end the game right here.
Yeah, they've got Baron, and they're marching towards those Nexus turrets.
Here we go, Vulcan and Spica. Not a lot of damage to speak of between them as Dignitas continues going forward. They'll find Vulcan first. One Nexus turret's already gone. Spica's planting some grass, but it's only flowers for his tomb. The Nexus turrets fall, and Dignitas goes up to 3-3, taking down FlyQuest in 25 minutes.
Dignitas already tying their wins from spring. They are 3-3. They are even here in summer. So much better already with the addition of Rich.
And Rich being willing to play that Quinn, he plays it really well, except for the time that he gets caught in the mid lane. Like, that was a little bit of a oopsie daisy. Like, that happens. But he's playing the lane really well. He's keeping Impact under control. He's having proper side lane pressure. He's doing a good job on this pick that we don't often see locked in as a hard counter to a champion that has been a meta staple for a long time.
I said it yesterday, but I think it's worth reiterating. Tomo is doing a lot of work for this team. Really, really good carry play from Tomo, putting in a lot of work behind the initiation of the rest of the team. Nice little follow up there with the Aphelios. So,
and he was focused. Remember, VicLa rotated down to bottom a couple of different times. We saw Azir pressure towards that Aphelios, looking to shut him down, keep him out of the game. And again, back to, we did see the problem with the Vi dive in the top lane from Santorin, but then redeeming himself in that Baron pit, knocking over the wall. As soon as Impact came over the wall, he hits the blast cone to keep Impact separated, then ulting onto the Azir to get himself back in a good position. Santorin may have giveth, but he also taketh back from FlyQuest. And in the final fight here, Diamond finally gets his Magnet Storm, and this is just the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, then VicLa tries to go in, but after he Zhonya's, there is no tower left for him. He's in the middle of enemy territory. Gets one, but that's going to be the last one for this game, and you know the end of that story. Dignitas pushed it all the way to the Nexus turrets.
Dignitas, man, they're coming to life.
Smiles all around.
When Rich is enabled and they can find the coordination to go in together in the team fights, they can get some things done. There's obviously still a couple areas you're going to have to fix. A couple of those Rell engages.
Just like we drew him up, okay?
Yeah.
Every time he dies, they then got something big. Big team fight win.
Maybe it's secret sauce, but it worked out. And
you draw out cooldowns.
Yeah. You're just like, okay, we're baiting them into a false sense of security. And this game, it worked. I mean, honestly, we're 6 games in. Dignitas is 3-3. That is better than most people would have put them at the start of summer 2023. And I'd love to see them be able to keep this up and continue improving. Reminder to everybody there until the end of the day, use your MasterCard to make a purchase from the in-client store and save your card on file to be entered for a chance to win a trip to LOL Worlds 2023 or a set of 8 Player of the Week statues and a MasterCard prepaid card. And now we're going to join Emily and the Quinn himself. It's Rich for the Verizon post-game interview.
Hello, I'm joined by the victorious Rich and also Toby to help with translations if he needs it. So first of all, congratulations, 축하합니다. You ended up selecting the Quinn top into Renekton. It's a really strong laning matchup. We also saw Keen on KT play it. So just talk me through the matchup and why you decided to go for this pick, because we don't commonly see it in pro play.
퀸이 스태틱 패치된 이후로 많이 좋아진 것 같아가지고 꺼냈어요.
So since Static Shift is really good right now, so I think it's really good match with the Quinn. So that's why I pulled it out.
Okay. And then a lot of people think that she's a little bit difficult to link up with the rest of the team in team fights. So just generally, when did you decide to group with your team, and what is communication generally like around team fights?
어떻게 보면 퀸이 약간 팀적으로는 좀 약간 한타의 합류도 그렇고 좀 힘들어 보이게 생겼는데 어떤 식으로 풀어나가는지 커뮤니케이션 때문이지.
일단은 최대한 레넥톤 텔 체크를 하면서 제가 먼저 움직일 수 있을 때마다 얘기한 것 같아요.
So basically, I've been always checking the Renekton has TP or not, and then telling the teammates, and then should be like always one step ahead of Renekton, so we can able to pull it out. Yeah.
And then obviously you just moved to North America and joined Dignitas. What has it been like adjusting to living here and being with this team?
그러니까 이제 작년에 일단 미국 와서 디그니타스 했는데 어떤지 생각 부분이라든지.
생활적인 부분은 만족하고 있고 팀에서 많은 걸 도와줘서 편하게 하고 있는 것 같아요.
So I'm overall satisfied. I mean, like a living environment, everything's really good. Also, at the same time, the team is helping me a lot, so I'm really good.
And then you've played in LPL and LCK on multiple teams. What do you think you've learned in your experience that you can bring to this Dignitas team?
한국이랑 중국이랑 같이 했는데 거기서 배운 것들을 혹시 여기 와서 아주 유용하게 쓰였다던가.
일단 팀원이랑 좀 긍정적으로 커뮤니케이션 하는 게 많이 도움이 된 것 같습니다.
So I feel like overall, the communication is really big part. So communicating brought from the different region, and they actually helped me here too. So I think that's a big part of the experience that I had.
All right, well, thank you for joining me. 감사합니다. And thank you, Toby, for helping out. We will have our final game coming up as NRG take on Cloud9 after the break.
We're gonna keep looking for more. Rich, he popped the cleanse, but the dredge line's ready to follow. Rich wants to fire back a little bit further now, and Vulcan's gonna die. So is Impact, so is Pring. Dignitas going in, but Santorin won't be able to get any more. The Sun Disc keeps him protected as Tomo's ready for the chase. He's got red, he's got purple, he's gonna mow him down. Double kill back over to Aphelios, and the completed ace for Dig. Not a lot of damage to speak of between them as Dignitas continues going forward. They'll find Vulcan first. One Nexus turret's already gone. Spica's planting some grass, but it's only flowers for his tomb. The Nexus turrets fall, and Dignitas goes up to 3-3.
I've got the Samsung 990 Pro series. Shall we get started then? This speed exceeds all expectations. Reading speeds are 40% quicker than before, and writing speeds are 55% faster. Through the in-house controller, the per-watt performance has improved up to 50%. The 990 Pro's nickel coating controller for its smart thermal solution technology controls heat. Playing computer games? Obviously the best.